Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is DB Automotive and my name is Brian James. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. We really do appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, please take your time to look around and see if it's something you'd like. We really do appreciate the people that subscribe, and I'm always appreciative of comments, negative or positive. So, for the past month or so, I haven't had the opportunity to post. Now, I do try and post every week at least, but over Christmas time, this just wasn't going to happen. My new employer that I just started working for does Christmas shut work, so therefore my job was to work through Christmas. We got the stat days off, but we got the jobs done, and it was a lot of good fun with a lot of good people. But what that did mean to me, though, is that I didn't get the Chevron finished, and I didn't get to go on the Fraser 5000, which was something I'd been aiming for. It just seems that I'm destined not to go on it at the moment. We're going to change destiny at some stage, I'm sure of it. So, let's do a wrap-up of the past month and what's been happening. Obviously, I've been working through Christmas, as I've just told you. After that, I've managed to, and I am on holiday at the moment, and my employer allowed me to take the car to work and work on the car. So I was supposed to work on it through Christmas so I could get it going for the Fraser 5000. Obviously that didn't happen, so now I've taken it to work, and that accelerated things along quite nicely. With the full access to the workshop equipment, I managed to do quite a lot of things. One of the things was get these wheels. No, I can't creep forward. So I've always liked these mini light style wheels. Sorry, not meals, wheels. I believe they're very quintessentially English, and they suit things going from minis to escorts to Lotus 7 style, Clubman style cars. These came up on Trade Me, which is our version of Craigslist or Gumtree if you're in America or Australia. And they came up quite cheap. They'd been used once or twice. The track day tyres that were on them, they're good track day tyres, Dunlop Drizzlers or Proxy R888s. And they came up at such a good price I couldn't let them go. They were literally all 6 mags, because I bought 6, all 6 mags were the price of one wheel without the tyres on them. So one mag, so I couldn't resist it. And the fact that they were in excellent condition just was a bonus. The one issue was that their offset was wrong. They had a plus 12 offset, which pushed them out to the edge of the guards too much for me, and that they were set to go on a car with 100 mil PCD, which is pitch circle diameter. So it's the distance from each wheel nut, opposite distance. So if you were to draw a circle, all 4 wheel nuts would be on that center line of that circle. That is your PCD. So this car is set at a 114.3 PCD, and the wheels were set at 100. Now, you can't slot them. The old days, you used to get slotted mags. By law now in New Zealand, you can't slot them. So I had to re-drill them. Now, that's not a problem. And actually, a lot of cars come in from Japan with multi-drilled mags. So, but what you do have to be careful of, if you're getting a mag wheel and you are thinking about putting another PCD in it, you need to make sure that there's going to be enough material in the back of the wheel, in the back of the mag, that you can do this. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll grab you in a second and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I've got something set up just over there so I can show you. What else did I do on the car? Well, we've put the bonnet pins on. I've made a frame. I bought 2 electric fans at the Kumu car show. Now, previous videos you'd have seen me at the Kumu car show. I do love car shows. I love seeing the amount of time and effort that goes into each individual car and the people's passion. And you can feed off that yourself. You can look at it and go, yeah, I can do that. That's not impossible. Because you can see cars in different stages of construction. So it's quite a big motivating factor for me and for a lot of people. But the big thing about the Kumu Car Show is the people. I get to see a lot of people that I don't get to see throughout the year. So it's the one time I get to catch up with my friends. So for me, that's very important. The people connection's far more important than the cars. So at the Kumu Car Show, they also have a swap meet and they have retailers as well. So one of the things I did see that I really liked was a company here in New Zealand that does beach buggies. Now, I've always been in love with beach buggies, honestly. I believe the movie I saw when I was a child in the mid-70s was called Watch Out, We're Mad, and it had Terence Hill and Bud Spencer in it. Now, if you're old enough, you'll remember the movie. And at the end, they're playing around on the beach on these beach buggies, and I just absolutely fell in love with them. I would love to have a beach buggy in my stable, and you know what? Maybe at some stage that might happen, but I'm not holding out too much hope at the moment. But I do love them. They are so cool. And so I saw the beach buggies, and there were lots of other retailers there, plus the swap meet. So you get people going into a swap meet looking for good deals. I did. I got two 12-inch electric fans for the front of this for a very good price, half the price of what they would be if I was to buy them from a retail store. The only thing I needed to do was make up a frame, which I did while I was at work, and I'll show you in a second. It's pretty extreme. It's not light, it's heavy, and it's heavy duty, but the car's so light it doesn't really matter too much. We also put the piping in between the guards, felt for the bonnet, and the trans tunnel's all now covered in, so the seatbelt can't be dragged in by the drive shaft. Apparently that's a good thing. Anyway, I'll go grab you off the camera, and I'll first of all show you what I mean by the mag wheels. Okay? Right, so I've got a couple of mag wheels set up here. Now, these are the ones that I machined on the lathe at work. So I took 12mm off this back face. In doing that, it exposed the countersink hole, or the counterboard hole, that is for the 100mm PCD. I don't need it because I'm doing 114. As you can see, 45 degrees away from that hole, I've re-drilled it again, so you've got plenty of material. And there's plenty of material for the studs to bite into, so that's quite important. Now, you may be thinking, oh, all mags are like that at the back. Well, actually, no, they're not. So here's the set that did come off the car. So luckily, they are set to 114.3 PCD by 4. But the thing is, and you can clearly see it's been cast to keep them. Now, I don't know if that's to keep them light or it's to save material, but if I was to put a set of holes 45 degrees out and another set of holes in there, there wouldn't be much material left, and it certainly wouldn't be very safe. So if you're thinking about doing that to a car, you need to make sure that it is safe to do it. That's a very important thing. Okay, so there's the bonnet locks. And yes, I did put one in the middle to stop it from bowing up. Just a thing. All right, I do this. So I haven't done a hell of a lot into here, except when we get to the frame. As you can see, I've made it out of 25mm thick, 25mm angle. And it does a couple of things. A, that it is extremely secure as it is bolted right onto the frame. and not the radiator. It doesn't touch the radiator one little bit. And so what that does for me is that adds an extra load of stone protection to make sure nothing comes through the radiator. And hopefully the twin 12-inch fans should give me enough coolant flow blowing through the radiator to keep this car cool. It's quite a big radiator, and I believe it had no problems before, so fingers crossed that will be all good. There's the felt that I was talking about, and that stops any squeaks, horrible little squeaks that you may get, and it just, yeah, it makes things nicer. So you can buy the felt, and I just 5-minute epoxied it on, and that's also down here as well. As we come up again, we go to the back guards. You can see that I've got the piping on the back guards as well. Once again, that just provides, it's just a fitment thing, so it'll help null and void any squeaks, and basically it keeps the guards preloaded on the bolts to allow them not to move and rattle loose. And so there we go, there's the other bit of piping. So it's just, yeah. Anyway, and there's the internal, you can't see it very well, but the trans tunnel is now covered in. Okay, let's put you back on the stand and we will finish up. Oops, sorry. I want to see the car. Right. Let's get rid of the seat and we can put the bonnet down again. And that just clips like that. I do like the rubber bonnet locks. For me, they're just nice and easy. I've always used them. I like them. Okay, so what's needed for this car to finish it up? Not a hell of a lot, actually. There's probably a day's worth of work in connecting up the fans, getting them into blow mode, changing the radiator hoses. They are old and subsequently they do leak. And then changing the oils. Diff oil. Now I don't know if the diff's a limited slip or a open wheeler. When I was bringing this home from the workshop the other day, I got it out into the field and I was doing donuts and things in the field. Yes, I know it's incredibly juvenile, but hey, you've got to have fun with your toys, right? And it seems that it's actually a limited slip, so I just need to check that. That will denote what style of oil I put into it. Then there's the gearbox and the engine. Dump the current oil because I don't know how long it's been in there, and I was told that it had an oil stabilizer in it, so time to dump it and either put in a full synthetic or a semi-synthetic and replace its oil filter. Because it's an old motor, it's an old 4AGE, I might even put in just a straight mineral 2040 oil, because then the motors are the older motors do sort of are better with the older oils. And then I'm on to a hall sensor for the speedo. Now that's the only thing really holding me up for getting a warrant of fitness as such. I need to get a hall sensor. If anyone out there has one and they don't want it, send it to me. No, just joking. Look, I need to get a hall sensor, get it connected up, and program the speedo, and that's it. She's ready to go. Other than the paintwork, which I'm working on at the moment in my head. We were thinking about doing it as a JPS tribute car in carbon fibre, but I'm now thinking of doing it, keeping it this, which even includes the back guards and the primer and so on, and doing all the airbrush work and the sign writing work myself, and doing it in a punk themed car. So, you know, you'll have things like the Union Jack safety pinned airbrushed, safety pinned into the bonnet and things like that. Punk music is one of my more favourite genres of music, so it would be a tribute to that. After that, we're getting stuck into the bus. The bus is a big project, and it's going to take a lot of time, but it's going to be a fun project, and I hope to have you guys along with me for that project. Again, if there's something you see that you want to comment on, if you want to know why I'm thinking like I do on certain aspects, or you have just a plain question, don't be afraid to comment. I'm more than happy to see your comments, read them, and respond to them if I can. So if there's anything you need to comment about, by all means drop me a line or ask in the comment section below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing for the past month. The next month we'll be finishing this, and after that we're getting stuck into that bus out there. Now that is going to be a fun project. First up, I need to paint the roof. So I'm going to paint it white, but you can get rubberized paint that will seal that roof. So once I've sealed it and I've cut and polished the outside, for me that's the outside protected until I can get stuck into it. We need to get stuck into the inside, stripping the internal panels apart, getting the old insulation out. Now I do believe the old insulation is wet and damp, which is one of the causes of the black mold that I can see in there. We're going to be getting rid of it. Taking a look at the frame, if it's in need of wire brushing back and painting, we'll PA10 it, which is an epoxy primer, which helps seal it. If it needs to be replaced, we'll replace it. All the time, you guys will be there on watching me do this. Now, this year, I am hoping to invest in a bit better technology than the cell phone that I use to do all of this with. So I'm hoping to get and be able to show you time-lapse shots that I can incorporate into it, so you can actually see me doing the work. Yeah, look, that's about it. Hey, thank you for watching. If you do like what you see, hit like and subscribe. And until next week, I'll catch you later. You guys have a good one.